Welcome, everyone, to today's webinar brought to you by Athletic Business and sponsored by Butterfly. In today's presentation, you'll be learning about how your facility can reduce energy usage, improve air quality, and save money, all while reducing carbon emissions. Specifically, you'll learn how you can take advantage of new high-efficiency equipment and industry-leading energy technology without needing upfront capital. Before we get started, I want to remind the audience that you can chime in with questions at any time, and we'll get to them at the end of the presentation. Today's speakers are Chad Knight, CEO, YMCA of Southwest Kansas, and Norm Pensky, Program Director at Butterfly. And with that, I'll turn it over to Norm. Norm, take it away.
Great, thank you very much. So I appreciate everybody taking the time to, for the next half hour to listen to our presentation. I'm Norm Pensky. I'm the Program Director for Health and Fitness for Butterfly. And Chad, would you like to introduce yourself, tell people a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name's Chad Knight, and Norm asked me because we got the same kind of style of haircut, so that's the reason why I got nominated. We're rolling with it here. So I'm 28 years with the YMCA, born and raised here. I'm a YMCA rat. So I told the sports director I'm gonna come back and have his job. So now I'm living the dream. You want to say it's living the dream, but that's what we're doing. So we're an independent association. We have 2 locations and a camp. So that's all about us and my YMCA.
Great, thanks, Chad. Appreciate that. So today we're going to cover, like I said, in the next half hour, industry challenges we've seen, our solution, the Butterfly model, and then any questions at the end, feel free to send them into the chat and we'll discuss them either during while we're talking or at the end. So what we've heard is that athletic complexes, the top priorities are obviously provide a clean and safe environment for the members and then capitalize on sustainable initiatives, reducing carbon footprint, having eco-friendly equipment, cleaning supplies, gear, and I purposely put the one that usually I hear the most at the top of the list, which is lower your utility expenses. So that's, pretty much as we've gone around the country, that's what we've heard. Now, interestingly, U.S. commercial buildings waste almost 40% of the energy that they consume. So if you think about, if you could save 40% on any of your accounting budget items, that's a big number. This is enough wasted power to basically power every household in the U.S. and Canada for 1 year. So it's obviously a big number. So why haven't people done things about that before? What are the challenges for gyms to go green? So the obvious one is increasing costs, rising costs. Everything is going up. Priorities. It just seems like unless an HVAC or an energy system completely breaks down and duct tape fails and it doesn't work anymore, it just doesn't get done to the last minute as an emergency fire drill. Maintenance and repairs are hard to manage, making sure you're doing, preventative maintenance that leads to unnecessary and costly repairs. And simply just not enough time. It's just always something else is coming up on the to-do list or the project list, and it just doesn't get done. And of course, the energy expertise. In a company like this where we focus on this is our core competency, versus your competency is, running, your athletic center in the club. So a little bit about Butterfly. So we're an energy as a service organization. We focus on reducing energy usage. We realize we have a very unique business model. We realize because of the things that I just went over, and most people use this not as top of mind, we said, okay, we're going to fund and we're going to use our capital to take on 100% of the cost to upgrade or replace the equipment. So we're going to pay for everything up front, and then we're going to get our money back over time with the energy reduction that we can save. So it's a great business model for a lot of clubs and facilities. Works out great. We'll implement a number of efficient solutions from LEDs, HVACs, primarily to reduce your consumption. We'll take care of all of the turnkey project management. We'll do the quarterly maintenance. We'll take care of the installations. We'll handle the permitting. We'll get the cranes on the rooftops. and then we also take over the utility bill. So basically, we become your utility company. So we'll provide a much simpler, discounted energy bill, showing your usage, showing it if you have multiple locations, by location, give you different alerts when different things go wrong like that as well too. So before I go on, I kind of wanted to ask Chad. Chad, you've had a lot of challenges, that you faced in your times as CEO in the YMCA. What are the challenges that you're seeing now, and kind of like why did you end up signing up with Butterfly?
Well, I believe you had 5 things up there, Norm, and of all those 5, we nailed them all. With the main reason why we signed up: the rising costs, capital priorities that took a back seat, the maintenance repairs hard to manage, not enough time, energy expertise. I think I had a lot of board members that thought they were energy experts, but so that's what got us started. Is we wanted to change all the LED lights in our gym, so in our YMCA, and whew, it was going to take us, many years to get that done. So I remember coming across Butterfly. I remember talking to them. So reached out to them again, and we set up a time, and they came in, and it's been a blessing. It's been a godsend, to tell you the truth on that. It's been absolutely wonderful partnership that we've had with Butterfly. So
appreciate those words. That's great. Appreciate that. So going on in there, continuing on with that, the most often asked question I get, which included Chad when we first started talking, is, all right, what's the catch? It sounds too good to be true. How are you going to just hand us the money out, and how do we get paid back? So the business model is pretty straightforward, and this is how it works for both of us. We create an historic annual baseline based on the actual usage. We'll apply a discount between 0 and 5% on the usage bill, determined by a combination of what do we think our estimated investment is and what we think the projected savings will be. So in this case, let's say one of your facilities has, for the month of June, uses 10,000 kilowatts of electricity. And in this case, let's say it's a 2% discount. So for the term, we do a 10-year agreement. So the term of the agreement, you would be paying 9,800 kilowatts times whatever the utility rate is. So that's your baseline. After year 4, to give us some time to, or get our money back, anything that's over 30% reduction in energy that we get, we'll split 50-50. So in this example, let's say we hit 36% efficiency. We'll split that 6%, 3 for us, 3 in this case for Chad. Add that 2% to that, so it's a 5% discount, or you'd be paying 9,500 kilowatts times whatever the utility rate is 4 years from now. So that's the business model, how we make our money back. So there's no interest rates, it's not a loan. That's basically, how it works there. Chad, do you want to maybe elaborate a little bit on maybe your experience in implementing our solution and any challenges that you faced?
Like the challenges was we didn't have the cash to outlay that at the start. So, that was our biggest challenge, is how are we going to be able to make these changes and make these improvements? So it enabled us to contract with Butterfly. They put all the money into the LED lights, put the VFDs on the HVACs. That's right, VFD, right? Variable frequency drivers, right, Norm?
You got it.
And that saves money on our HVAC. So they came in and did that, and they had a team of all kinds of personnel, which was amazing to work with them and get it started. And it's just been, there's no way it makes you look like a grand CEO when you can come in and make $180,000 worth of changes, but it didn't cost you anything out of pocket. The members don't know it didn't cost you out of pocket because you got the contract with Butterfly. So, it was a great arrangement, great setup. Service has been great, phenomenal. So I just can't say enough about the partnership we've had with Butterfly.
Appreciate that. Thanks, Chad. So in addition to Chad, we have over 6,500 successful installations across all 50 states in the U.S. Number of YMCAs, Crunch Fitness, a lot of independent individual gyms, as well as a lot of, as you can see, fast food restaurants and casual restaurants. We did a case study with Chad, and maybe you can talk a little bit more on this one and kind of what you found. But this is kind of like the basics in his, little under 70,000 square foot facility. But Chad, if you want to expand a little bit more on kind of what you've seen from the partnership, that'd be great.
Well, I think that third bullet, our HVAC equipment was aging, and so we had to maintain those and replace those. They came in and put those VFDs on and cleaned them up and what needed to be done and fixed. The lighting on the very last one, the LED lighting. So we wanted to get all LED lights throughout our facility. One, for the energy consumption savings too, but they just look better and make things look brighter and stuff. So they came in but it was over, I think it was $180,000. I'm not for sure. Is that right, Norm?
Correct.
Yeah, $180,000 they invested and put it all into our building and did it within like a 2-month period after we went through all this stuff and paperwork and budget analysis and facility analysis and program analysis and all this stuff. They have a team of all those people come in, but they did it and put it in, and it's worked magnificent since then.
Great, thanks. So the different teams that Chad's referring to is we have different expertise. So, for example, we have a team that handles the LED lighting. We have a team, obviously, that handles the HVACs. If you have large refrigeration units, we have a team that does that. So that's what Chad's referring to. In order to take care of all of these things, we now have a team for water as well too. So with that, it's basically, this is kind of like the focus of solutions that we have. So this is what the equipment that we're working on right now that we handle in order to reduce your energy usage. Now remember, the onus is on us and the risk is on us that we reduce the energy usage, or it takes longer for us to get our money back. So we clearly are incentivized to go through all this list of equipment to make sure it's as most efficient as possible. So HVACs are usually the biggest bang for the buck in reducing the energy consumption. We'll put in Wi-Fi thermostats with all the HVACs and that. LED lighting. What we found is that even if you put in LED lighting 6 or 7 years ago, the technology has improved enough that we can get more efficiency, and we'll update that LED lighting that you already did. So we're finding that out. In some cases, solar, we have a complete solar team to do the math on whether that works or doesn't work. So we'll go in and do an analysis on that. Metering and monitoring so we can track everything that's going on. And then water and sewer, we've got a couple of solutions that can help reduce your water usage and then also do a leak detection so that rather than find out a month after the water bill comes out that your water bill doubled because you've got a leak underground you didn't see, we can send a little detection. So how we work with the HVAC replacements is we only put in high efficiency 20 plus SEER units. If you're not familiar with the SEER or IEER rating system for HVACs, it's basically the industry standard of the efficiency. And the difference is it's pretty significant. Typically, if you go out and have bought one yourself, or you've got an old 10-year-old or older unit on your rooftop, it's probably a 10 to a 15 SEER unit. And the difference for us between a 10 to 15 SEER unit and the 20 plus SEER units we're putting in could be as high as 40% more efficiency. So right there is a big bang for the buck when we're replacing them. When we replace them, we have a high discount because of our purchasing power, and we do not mark that up. So when we give our analysis, it's based on our cost without a markup. So typically, we can supply it. You're going to get it from us less than what you're going to go out and buy a lower efficiency unit on your own. We do have one charge. We do require quarterly preventative maintenance. The reason why we require that is obviously we want the equipment running in top efficiency as possible. So we provide 4 times a year visits. We charge $700 a year per unit, or $58 per month is how it's billed. This usually is about a push of what you're paying now. Sometimes we're a little bit higher, sometimes we're a little bit lower, but it's basically taking care of everything for you on that one. It's pretty comprehensive, 31-point plan, includes belts, filters, and everything else as well too. So our customer portal is really great in just doing the reporting and analytics. We'll show you your energy consumption. We'll show you what your carbon emission reductions are. This is great if you want to send this out to your members and how much you're from a sustainability standpoint. For you on the billing standpoint, also shows a lot of things on different parts with the on the bill, so you can track that. So there's a tremendous amount, like any reporting package, there's a tremendous amount of information on these. I know, Chad, you probably don't look at them as much as people in the accounting department, but anything you can comment on the reporting analytics that you've seen?
This dashboard system.
From our dashboard.
I'm not even I'm a data guy, but I don't get down in this stuff unless I need to or need to look at something. But when I do get in there, great information, great data, great stuff. It shows you everything. You can figure out everything you need to know and where you're set at and where you're at. I think one of the questions earlier was something about a surprise. The only thing that surprised me was, that I didn't know that I had to maintain that percentage-wise at the start, which was no big deal. We maintained it, we did it, but I found that out on the dashboard when I seen that, and then talking to Norm on a new piece of equipment we needed to add. We went through that whole thing. Again, somebody from the budget team or finance team or whatever team they have reached out to me and showed me all that stuff. So, but these are great reports, and you can get reports just like that. Just ask them. Their service is top notch, guys. Top notch.
Thanks, Chad. That's awesome. I also, what Chad was my next question was, what challenges had you seen or what surprises you seen, but you answered that. Anything else you want to expound on, or did you cover it?
No, I think the only thing that I'd like to say, I think there was a quote on the earlier slide that showed that, people that deal with the YMCAs, that it takes us a while to get things done, especially capital investments. So you can see the quote there, for us to invest $180,000, I would have had to build that in the budget over time. Might not have been 10 to 12 years, but who knows, by now it could have been 10 to 12 years. But what I would have taken me a long time, Butterfly was able to come in and do it in a matter of 3 weeks and get all this stuff done, up and going. So if you got an aging building, you need some help on it, or even if a brand new building, they can help you with, I'm sure. So hopefully the brand new building, you already got some stuff on there, but I'm sure they can help you with something and give you guys some guidance or help you and make you save some money. And then you don't have that big capital outlay to do it. And you're going to see the savings down the road, which, you're still going to maintain that, but they set it up budget based on your last 5 years. So it's a good model. It's a great model. It's worked for us, so good luck.
Thanks. Well, and Chad led me to the next slide, which is we do support new builds and remodels. So again, if you need help with the capital contribution on that, with the HVACs and LED lightings, we'll work with your contractor, your general contractor. We'll buy it at our rates. You can use that capital for other things, whether it's different equipment, more expansion. And basically working with a partner that's going to provide the highest efficiency equipment, whether it's the LED lights or the HVACs primarily in the clubs. So the last slide that I have before I'll take some Q&A here is basically, why should you care? Why is this important to you? So first off, we're going to save you some money. We're going to invest our own capital so you can preserve yours, or you don't have to go out, from a funding standpoint. We'll save you the time, resources, and obviously the energy expense, because we'll take care of that. Makes it easier because this is our business. You just make a phone call into our 800 call center, as Chad had said, and then our people will dispatch the right team to go out and either fix it or take care of things. We assume all the risk. We're doing the project management, but again, it's in our best interest to get that energy usage down, because we're the ones that have laid out the cash in the front end. And then finally, or just from a holistic approach and a healthier approach for your members and your employees, just reducing your carbon emissions and going from there. Chad, anything else you want to add before we open up the Q&A? I appreciate your time and your help. You're an awesome, partner with us on this.
No, I mean, it was pretty easy, folks. I mean, like I said, they come in, they do everything for you, and they meet with you online. They have your team of people. They show you everything. They're up front with everything. There's nothing hidden, no small print anywhere or nothing else. So it's been a great partnership, and Butterfly's been awesome.
Cool. All right, great, thanks. So Andy, do we have any questions that we can answer?
Absolutely. Okay. Good stuff from both of you. So I guess just start, Norm, if you can go into a little more detail on how the discount works.
Okay, sure. So let me go back to this slide here. So the discount, again, is the answer to how do you make your money and how does this work for you. We create an historic annual baseline, and that's basically what you're going to be paying for the 10-year agreement at a discount. The discount's determined after we do an analysis. It doesn't cost any money, but we'll send a solutions engineer out, look at all your equipment, take the square footage, what you're paying now. We kind of do an estimate, a good deep down analysis of how much are we going to invest and what do we think the projected savings are. And then we'll come up with a proposal for you showing the discount. And that spread is how we make our money back over the 10-year agreement, which allows us to advance the cash up front to put it in. Hopefully that whoever asked that question that answered that. If not, I'm always available afterwards to answer anything else.
Great. So we have one question from the audience here. Where is the best place to find funding assistance for facility LED conversion?
I got it. I got that one.
Go for it, Jan.
Butterfly. Call them. They will put all the money they need to put into it, and you don't pay a dime. There's no money out of pocket. My finance committee said, "Dad, this can't be so true. How are they gonna put all this money in and we don't have to put nothing down, or there's nothing?" I said, "Guys, that's the way it works. We're gonna get our savings in time. They're gonna recoup the savings the first 2 years. We ain't gonna see none of that savings, but we're still paying that amount of money. We're gonna get a little bit of discount just because we're saving us money on the stuff. But I didn't put forth out $180,000. So whoever asks a question that's putting LED lights in, have them convert it all. They'll do it all, and they do a great job. So no capital outlay. Let them. You don't need to worry about funding. They fund it for you."
Nice.
That was a setup question, Chad. Did you put that in? Let's be honest.
It's kind of ironic how it was the first question that was out of the blue, and that's exactly what we did. So.
So who controls the thermostat temperatures and those kinds of things? I'm guessing the user.
Yeah, it's a good question. So when we install the Wi-Fi thermostats, you choose whether you want it to be on lockdown so nobody can control it, the district manager control it, the local manager can control it, we can control it. You have to call our 800 number. So we're flexible on that and whatever works for you. There's a plus or minus 2 degrees that we can set for you to set it there. We can also do set points. So some clubs might have, a cycling room or a yoga room or something, and they'll know the class. So we'll adjust the temperature, before the class or after the class, and we can do set points and do that as an automatic as well too. So you would all work with our implementation team when we're onboarding and going through all that. Good question. And then in the alerts and in the portal, let's say the temperature is supposed to be at 70 and some reason goes up to 75 or 80, you'll get an alert that something's going on if we haven't already proactively, caught that as well, for you. just to see what's
So,
going on.
so when you say set points, just to clarify, you know, what if there are unseasonably warm temperatures in late October or something like that? It keeps it at a certain point.
Yeah, well, if it's set at 70, it's going to keep it at 70. Was 100 degrees outside or 50 degrees outside? You know, that's having the high efficiency newer units on there so it can keep up with it. But you may want to move that from 70 down to 68 for a class, or 67 or something, because it's a cycling class that gets hotter. So adjusting it there is what I meant by the set points. Or if the gym closes at 10 o'clock at night, from 10 to 5 in the next morning, you want to take it way down there so you're not burning up electricity when nobody's in the building. So that's what I meant by set points. Sorry.
Sure. No worries. So Chad, once again, does Butterfly cover all the equipment costs or all the costs for equipment that they install?
They cover it all, baby. You don't have a dime in the pocket.
Including installation. By the way, that's including installation. That's everything. It's not. It's not just equipment. It's the installation too that's covered.
One thing we didn't note though, Norman, I want to kind of make this point is Butterfly also kind of reached out to all the electrical contractors for the LED conversion, and put out a bid process. So it really made all the local electricians give us a true bid on what their cost is going to be, and then for them to stay on to maintain everything. So they came in and they got our price lowered, or we've been paying already. I can't remember, but it was significantly lower. So they got them to drop down, and now we're paying much lower for everything else as well, because they came in and they negotiated a good price for these guys to put them in, and for them to maintain them too. So we didn't talk anything about that. So that was a good bonus too. So you get a bonus with Butterfly, I could say. So
nice. So if or when like an AC system goes down or an LED light needs to be replaced, what's the turnaround time for customer support?
So they call our 800 center, and then we dispatch out again, whether it's an electrician for LED lighting or whether it's the HVAC contractor. We have a 4-hour emergency response time service, SLA. I can't guarantee I'm going to have somebody on site in 4 hours, but we'll get the contractor and get in contact with them to, when he can get scheduled, when they can get scheduled out there.
All right.
Good question.
Norm, talk a little bit more about what it means for Butterfly to be the client's energy provider.
So the advantage is, it's like, this is our core competency and this is our expertise. So you're relying on us on future developments. We've got a large research and development team that's coming up with always, with new solutions. As a partner, we're invested in reducing your energy usage. That's what we're focused on. So you focus on running your gym, we'll focus on reducing your energy, consumption conservation. The business model is unique because we just realized that the only way that works is by funding it and putting the money up front, because people just, as Chad said, most clubs just don't have the budget or capitalization unless it's really an emergency, and they can't be doing things in advance. So that just allows us to work with the different clubs on doing everything the right way, if you will.
Sure. And just to bring that point home, I mean, it really does make sense in that it behooves you to get the best return on investment and the most efficient equipment into your facilities, because you're saving money and they're saving, or you're making money and they're saving money.
Right. Well, we're making money on the energy savings, exactly. So,
right. Yeah.
Could they do it themselves? Yeah. If they had the capital, could they do it themselves? Yes, of course. But usually people don't do it because it just doesn't get high enough on the priority list. They don't have the expertise. So again, you're paying us and you're not paying us anything. Actually, we're giving you money to let us handle it. Is a good way to look at it.
Yeah. Let me see if we have any other questions here. Oh, yeah, we did during your presentation. You brought up, or I think Chad brought up new builds. How does Butterfly handle new construction with brands?
So for new construction, we have a team that does that. We'll work with the general contractor. What we found is rather than us doing it, if you're already doing a lot of construction, we'll work with the general contractor. We'll get the HVACs to the crane yard for them. We'll get the LED, we'll give an allowance for LED lighting. The difference for us is since I don't have the 1 to 2 year historic baseline that's based on our model, we'll based on square footage, based on usage, based on what utility companies are at, we'll come up with what we think is a reasonable baseline, and then we'll run it for 3 months and then get the numbers that way. But the program's the same. We're paying for everything up front. The difference is in a new build, what we found is general contractor wants to control their own things. They don't want other subs that they don't know in there. So we'll just work with them and we'll just supply the equipment and pay for it.
Sure.
So basically for a new build, we're taking a portion of the capital expense out of that for them to give them more money for other things.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. It looks like that's about all the questions we have. Norm, Chad, anything else to add?
Is our contact information available for anyone to contact us if they need to individually?
Yes. So everybody in the audience or who's registered will get an email, and that'll have contact information if you have any questions to follow up. It's also right here on the screen. Thank you, Norm. And yeah, I think thank you. Such great information for all of our audience members who are facility operators or owners. I want to thank Butterfly for sponsoring today's webinar. And Norm and Chad, thank you so much for your time. And I think that's about it.
Thanks, Chad. You're awesome. Appreciate the good words and your time. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks.